Hello and welcome to what I believe is session 11 of our Twilight 2000 campaign, The Long Way Home. I'm Andy and I'm the GM. Let me introduce you to my players. Let's start with Nick.
Hey, I'm Nick. I play Kowalski.
Then Chris.
I'm Chris. Hi, I play Leandro Jones, the mechanic and reluctant foot soldier.
Carl.
I'm Cymbalski, and I play your Polish supply sergeant.
Gregg isn't able to make it tonight. Then Mike.
Yeah, I play Jerry McCoy, an Army sniper.
Okay, right.
And the one trained infantryman we actually have.
Very true. There's a few NPCs who are trained infantrymen. Okay, so just to sum up, so where we got to is you had we finished off last session the very large, well, what started as an improvised ambush that turned into a small engagement that then turned into a larger engagement as the enemy tried to flank you, and you beat back the enemy, killed actually quite a number of them, and drove off the rest. And then you would then try to recover gear from one of your vehicles that was destroyed. You had also recovered a truck, if you remember. So transporting all this stuff. Do you remember that there was a Russian truck where
Patra or something?
Yeah, you captured an enemy truck where the someone I can't remember who it was had put a 50 cal round from the 50 cal machine gun.
Oh yeah,
through the back of the truck and had lucked and got a driver hit, and the truck had sort of slid to a halt and bumped into a tree nice and slowly with it, and you then discovered the dead driver inside.
Carson once again proving the heavy
Yes.
weapon's prowess.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay, so the only things you hadn't done, so you have removed the bodies from the Dodge and put those into the truck. You've recovered all the gear from the Dodge that you could, and you have gathered up as many of the enemy weapons and other bits of gear as you can. The only things you didn't do, and just to be clear before we move on, I'm not trying to prompt you, I just want to check that I've got this right. You have not spent time to try and turn the wreck of the Dodge into spare parts, and you haven't done the same with the BTR, the same with the UAZ. You've not tried to do any acquiring of spare parts, because that will take, a shift, so at least 4 to 6 hours that would take to do. And you've also not searched the 2 buildings that were on the map. That's fine, but just
we did, however, take the time to bury our comrades.
Did you
thereby preserve that cup rating?
Yeah. Did you bury them or bring them with you to bury later? Did you?
No,
you buried them. Okay. So
yeah, we grabbed a bunch of the merchant caravan to bury them.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So, how far are you looking?
Actually, I have a question as
Go
well. So I'm assuming my backpack's gone as well?
No, your backpack was a different vehicle.
No, we're in the same. Me and Carl were in the same vehicle.
No. You were in the same vehicle as Gregg's character, Jimmy. You were in the UAZ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
My
were in
bad.
the yeah. So actually, because
it was me and Jimmy that came together.
Yeah, it was. So because from the Dodge, Cymbalski's his backpack was destroyed. Miller, his M16 and his personal gear was recovered, but his backpack was lost, and he obviously died. Lindemann, his weapon was damaged and is essentially spare parts, and his backpack and some of his gear was recovered, and his backpack is damaged, but is possibly usable. Okay.
Has that all been noted?
It's not. No, this is on my notes, so it's not on the sheet yet. That was the piece of admin that I was supposed to do between sessions, and I apologise, I've not managed to do it. So we'll work that one out. Okay. Now, I'm just trying.
If you got that as a text file, if you ping it to me in
No, I have it as
Discord.
I have a piece of scribbled paper.
Old school.
Yeah, I do apologise. Extremely old school. Right. Now, I'm trying to remember where you were on the map. I'm going to move you to the area map. I don't think you've driven off the bottom of this yet. So, do you remember you were? This was
the location of the I think we're still in the vicinity of Grusin.
Yeah, I think you were because I think what you were doing was because what you had. Do you remember when you were in the village of Grusin, which, just to remind you, is
here?
Oh, sorry, I need to bring you as well. Would be helpful. Is this map here? Yeah, this is the village of Grusin. Okay, that's where you met the merchants, and then you were travelling with them. And they had given, sorry, the villagers had talked about, they had a deal with some Ukrainian troops who had essentially deserted the Soviet army in Malgaras, were providing security for some outlying villages in return for food and so on. And it was a bit of a weird sounding deal, and the village of Grusin, as you may remember from when we were role playing there, it was also almost a bit weird that no one had charged in and tried to take over the place. Mm-hmm. But and if you remember when you were in Grusin, a UAZ turned up with a badly wounded, to pick up the doctor from Grusin, the doctor who's based there, to take to Malgaras, where they've clearly, they didn't explain any more details, but they've clearly been in a proper engagement with someone and had serious numbers of casualties. So there's something going on. So I think...
And I want to point out that we speculated at the beginning of this firefight that we just got over with, that I wonder... Basically, it was I wonder if what hit Grusin is part of this pretty large unit that ended up here.
Yeah,
we had kind of speculated as to whether or not, what hit Malgosas was whatever hit the Ukrainians might have hit us.
Yeah. Now
because they were really well equipped. And and they were absolutely willing to spend the stuff that we're never going to get again, like RPG rounds.
Yep. So I don't think you were headed to Malgaras, were you? I'm trying to remember. I think you were headed. Can you see
headed to Krakow?
Yeah, headed to Krakow, but I think you were going. I think you went almost sort of working your way on roads due south of Grusin.
Oh, yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So, how far away from the ambush? I've got a feeling the ambush site was actually up here. Oh, I can't remember. Sorry, my memory is fading. Right. So, how far away do you want to get from the ambush site? Do you want to get a few kilometers, more than that?
My suggestion is to move sprightly until dusk.
Well, here's one thing we need to consider. So, the ambush, where we did the ambush site, they were coming from the direction we're going.
Yep, correct.
So, are we changing directions, or are we going to go to where they came from, and there might be a whole lot more of them?
Okay. In between...
That one guy that we took prisoner, Did he say where they came from?
No, he ran off. He ran off before you got a chance to really interrogate him.
Dang. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I got a quick question. Okay, it's just south of Grusin, and I'm pinging it on the area map now. Is this stream? Does anybody remember? Okay, first off, is that a river or is that a major highway?
I believe that's a major highway.
Okay, and I can't remember if we ever said that we crossed that or this range of hills that runs from Malgusk to Grusin.
I think you would
definitely haven't gone over the hills.
I think you're down about here.
So we're still on this side of the map. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're about.
That's where I think we are as well. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's just say we're somewhere in between Grusin and Kuslow.
Yeah.
And run it from there.
So what do you want to do? So if let's say you're I think it's this road here. So what do you want to do? Because Mike raises a good point. Do you want to continue on the direction where the enemy were coming from? Or, I mean, because you were on a road with only two directions. You could backtrack or you could continue to where the enemy came from. What would you rather do?
If we're on this road here.
So you could backtrack up to here and then either head...
Try and go on this trail set.
Yeah, you could either go west... Or you could backtrack and try and go over the mountain. They're hills. They're not mountains. They're tall hills.
But it still counts as rough terrain even with vehicles.
Question: where is Krakow?
South.
Yeah.
South. So let's shift back to the.
I'm looking at Google Maps and I can't see it.
So were we on that last map? We're roughly about where 33 is on the map.
Sorry, let me go back to that map.
Yep, no, you're fine.
That's so. You are about that
road 34, 33 and 34, somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah, you're more by the 34, somewhere here.
And the road that's going straight south is what that's what we're on.
Yeah.
Why don't we cut cross country to the road to our left
and take that here?
Yeah, and take that just from we're on this road to the right. So let's just cut straight across this map. Just cross country to this road,
yep,
and then head south on that road. We can come down here to Henricow,
and that's right. And there's a good patch of woodland there, which we can lie low in for a while.
Yep. Okay. Just going back to the sort of this map. You are. Somewhere, I'm going to zoom this in a bit. Oh, this is not actually the best of maps because it's been turned into a it's a landing page, not a map. Yeah. But you're somewhere around about here, I think, from memory.
I'm just digging the crappy gas station lighter off to the right, just past the M16.
Oh, the guy, I've forgotten the name of the guy who did this. It's in the notes I put on.
The blow up in your face lighters.
Yeah. The big lighter that has a 50-50 chance of blowing up in your hand.
I seem to remember being a student and people being able to faff around with Chris. Do you remember this when we were students? For someone faffing around with the flow on it, so you could get about a 3-inch flame coming out of it.
Yeah, you had to take that silver cover off, and then you could make it go as high as you wanted.
You could make the son of a bitch look like a flamethrower.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, enough of junior pyrotechnics. Right. Okay. So, okay. So, can I have, please, now, let me get my... Navigation is it recon or survival? I never remember.
Should be survival.
Instinctively, I'd say survival.
Survival. So, who is navigating?
I'm shaking my head here.
I think in this particular case, even though I'm from northern Poland, I would probably be the best choice as the local native guide.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
Call me-
intelligence A, survival C.
I have intelligence B, survival D, so maybe it is better that you do it.
Well, bear in mind, one can assist another. Assisting gives you a one-step bonus, was it?
Okay, then I will assist.
Yes.
I will assist his survival or recon roll as necessary to
Right. So
assist his navigation check.
right. So Nick, if you could roll survival, intelligence survival at +1, please.
Okay. Rolling. I'm gonna push that.
Okay.
There we go. That's more like it.
Right. So
Taking
you're able to cut a fairly good route through the woods, and your map reading prior to the engagement of where you were proves to be relatively accurate, and you hit just at this point here, where there's actually a junction of there's another road going. There's one going southeast and one going southwest, as well as the one heading northeast.
Can you bring up the map?
Oh, am I on the
we're
wrong map?
navigating on? Yeah.
Sorry, I've
moved
moved.
the place map.
I've moved across. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, no worries. No
Right,
worries.
so
It's
you
all
are here.
good. Excellent.
Okay, and
Okay, so and our plan is to head south into these woods, and once we get past this swampy area, we'll try and find some place to hooch up in between Hericlo and Miklos, whatever, Mikolos.
yep. Okay, so right, let's do some travel rolls. Which are okay. Right, now the terrain type is what's the modifier for being on roads?
Where you stumble upon yet another Russian convoy.
Right, so please. Right, I need to drive. Oh, none. Right, so what vehicle is Cymbalski now driving the truck?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, what the heck? They're the ones I know.
yep, Cymbalski, give me a driving check, please.
Aye, Captain. Let me character. All right. Has the stress reduced any?
No, you've not rested at all yet, so the stress is. But
All right.
that has no effect at the present moment. It's just a counter building up.
That's why I asked. Okay. Driving, agility, B and C. B, C. Awesome. I'll take 2 successes.
Okay.
Good.
Right. Martinez. It is okay, and then the other one is there. Is Kasaib. Okay, so Valdez is driving the up armored the up armored Humvee has a mishap. So
Can you push that?
he's already got one. He's got.
Yeah, let's not have him.
Yeah.
Let's not try and push on a D6.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be asking for a lot.
Right. So you get just into the edge of the woods here. Yep. And the M114's engine overheats, and it needs to be you just stop and let the engine cool down, replace fluids, etc., like that. So you're in some light trees, and you're not in an ideal place to camp, but you're in somewhere, and you've got a bit of boggy marshland around to your north, trees southeast and west. So
okay, so I would suggest getting security out and allowing our mechanic to work his miracles.
Okay.
So it's now probably mid-afternoon. Do you want to camp here, or do you want to I'm trying to think.
Oh, okay. With a mishap like that, does it take a shift to deal with the problem? Is there
it's engine overheated. The vehicle must stop for the rest of the shift.
For the rest of the shift.
Yeah.
This is the afternoon shift. Okay, well, in that case,
it is to roughly dusk, right?
Yep. So shifts.
Well, it's July. Days are lasting longer.
Yeah, it's more a time than a.
it shifts 6
5.
hours.
It's 5 to 10 hours. So let's say by the time it's cooled down, well, Chris, give me a tech roll with any of your mechanic stuff to basically resolve this issue with the M114 more quickly.
Yeah, you use your engineer tricks to your engineer magics.
Oh, and boom! Yeah, there he goes.
Yep.
2 successes.
Right. So
He spoke to the machine spirits.
okay.
Right.
You do a very good job of sorting out the vehicle engine, and it cools down and is the M114 is able to move, and it's about 5:30 in the afternoon now.
Okay.
So
it only took a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There's several more
You said
hours of
mid-afternoon. I'm assuming that means like 3 or 4.
yeah.
So
So
it's somewhere between 5 and 6 now. So
Yeah.
that excellent work, Jones.
so do you wish
Once
to?
again, that mechanics are essential personnel in Twilight.
Yep.
Oh God, they are.
Yep. Do you wish to just make camp here? Do you wish to try and move further into the woods?
Further into the woods.
Yeah, we've got
Well,
enough
can
daylight
I-
left to at least get a little.
Sorry,
bit
a suggestion is
further.
while I'm working, can somebody maybe go and try and scout out a good place for us to camp forward?
Yeah, that could be.
Okay. So that would make sense. So who would have wanted to go on a little recon mission to try and find somewhere decent to camp?
I mean, I can.
That's my
do
job, isn't it?
Or actually, yeah.
Yeah.
You are the recon guy.
So is Mike going? Is Mac going on his own, or is anyone going with Mac?
I prefer to go by myself, and I put on my ghillie suit.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you give me a recon check then, please?
Yeah.
Hold on, stop, please. Before we make rolls, do we have enough portable radios to put Mac on a net? That is, that he can commo.
Oh yeah. I think we still got. Yeah, we've got one of the handhelds.
Yeah, you
Okay,
guys
so
give me
I think
a
we
hands
have
up for-
one handheld full stop, but yes, you can take that. We've got 2.
Yeah, because we've got
Right.
vehicle-based radios. And
So-
I think one of
We've
them.
got 2 vehicle-based radios
Yeah.
left as well.
So the
Right.
both
And I don't think that does that include the Russian radio, which may not necessarily be on the same frequencies.
No, so what you've got.
More to the point, these are sync guards radios are being encrypted, so there's no way the Russian radio.
But it takes a shift to do that, and we haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Well, you'll be able to use them clear.
We have an American portable radio. We stripped it from the truck that we traded for the US.
Yeah. So what you've got is both currently now you have 5 radios in total. You've got the 2 Humvees have got fixed vehicle radios in them. The UAZ that Mac is normally travelling in, that has got a working man portable. It's a Prick 119.
Okay, so it's a NATO radio.
Yeah,
got it.
Then you also have a damaged one of those that was in the Dodge, and a damaged Soviet radio. Both of those are the American one is undoubtedly spare parts. Is beyond repair. The Soviet one needs some investigation to work out if it's spare parts or repairable.
By the way, Andy, I just gave you a gift in general chat. If you'd like it, it's a map of the current area in 1 kilometer hexes.
In the Discord chat?
Yeah, in the general.
Oh, happy.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Excellent.
Now, is that modern or is that...
Yep, that's off the military map thing I gave you before, that link. So you can make your own custom map.
Okay.
You can select the grid. You can select how far you zoom in and out. It's kind of hard to find. I'll be just to tell you to find these town names because these are some podunk towns.
Yep, you are in a bit of a back area, right? Of Poland.
I've been using this for BattleTech maps.
Okay,
oh, that'd be great for BattleTech. I never even thought about that.
Okay, that right. I'm going to need to go and use that link properly, and because I'll sync up this map, but fairly quickly you'll have driven off the bottom of it. So I'll probably.
Oh yeah. No, I was just giving you something for a close up since it's kind of blurry and stuff for you to make it easier for you. That was for you more so than the load up for us. So.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So.
All donations gratefully received.
Yeah. Mac goes off with taking the radio with him and does some recon. So
now, by recon that am I making a scouting roll or an infiltration roll?
Are you making a scouting roll?
Yeah, because I think scouting is the detection part, and infiltrating is the I have spotted something.
Part.
That's what I was making sure. If
the
I'm
art
looking
of not being seen.
Nice.
Very good.
You are not yet samurai.
I don't know why it throws all those ammo dice on when I do a regular roll because they're not selected. I don't know why.
Does to me as well, but it doesn't seem to show up in the chat.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't appear in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 successes.
2 successes. Right. Okay. So about a kilometre. You find a trail that's possibly some sort of logging trail, or it's a trail that the vehicles could go down. Heavily overgrown. Vehicles have not been down it for at least a year, probably longer. Heading further west off the road you're on, heading further deeper into the woods, and you follow that down, and come to a place where there is what was once a clearing. Once again, no one's been clearing any undergrowth here for at least a year, and it's all a bit overgrown. But there's some sort of small hut, and you don't speak any Polish, but there's actually a sign on it. There's actually a sign, a sort of printed sign that looks quite official on the door of the hut.
Gotcha.
And the hut's it's single story. There's a door on the front, and then a window to one side of that, and then windows on each of the 3 walls. All of
I'm
them.
not gonna go in. I just want to look in the windows.
Yeah,
since I
that's what I
don't
say.
know what the sign says.
Yeah, the windows are all they've all got external shutters which are closed,
Okay.
and there's catches to undo them. And
Sure, I'll undo one.
yeah, glancing in, it appears to be some kind of office come storage room. There's a table with a desk with a chair and a filing cabinet and not much else. A few there's a what would you call it? What's the problem? A sort of display unit that's got what looks like leaflets in it.
Okay.
Like a magazine rack? Or
Yeah, magazine. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna
Fine.
grab the sign and take it back with me.
Well, the sign is fixed to the door, so you have to break that off.
Break it off.
Okay.
Well, for that matter, you can get on the radio and just read off the letters.
Right. You take the sign with you and head back to the others. Sorry, I just want to do one other little thing.
And when we go I'm looking at this road close to where it's visible from this side on the outside of it to where you said it was overgrown. I want to kind of look at that area a little bit, and when we come back before vehicles drive over it, I'm going to take some ponchos and lay them down over the top of the grass, push so the grass doesn't actually show the tire tracks, and I can try to camouflage that we ever actually came back through here.
You mean where it branches off the main road?
Yeah, where it
gotcha.
branches off, where it's overgrown. I'm going to lay some ponchos on that stuff just so it doesn't get as damaged, so we can try to hide that we're actually in here.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Always good to cover the back trail.
Yep. Okay. Right. So you make it back just as Dro is finishing up, and Valdez, who drives the M114, starts up again, and it starts up. The engine's still running a little hot, but it can move. Dro, it could probably do with some bit more maintenance that night. Just
Okay. Yeah, all right. Its reliability is quite high.
is it okay?
Does it lost one?
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense with the It's can you reduce its reliability by 1, please?
I mean, I would say a sort of house rule is if I rush to get it back into action, I can do that, but it loses a point of reliability. I think that's easier.
Well, I think it. Actually, can you take a second one off, because I think it should lose 1 for the malfunction, and then because you rush to get it back on. Yeah, I'm giving you jobs to do. Right.
He's a mechanic. That's his life.
Yeah. Okay. So Mac turns back up, having not encountered anything problematic.
All right.
Yep. So I found a clearing in some woods that's overgrown. The road hadn't been used in at least over a year, and I found this sign. So there's a building there. This sign was on the building.
What's it say?
I don't know, you tell me.
It says park. It's in Polish. It says Park Ranger Service.
Okay.
Sorry, and then lists the opening hours.
Okay. This is just the park. This is part of a national park and or a local provincial park, and this is from the National Park Service stating when the place is open.
Okay. Well,
So
I just want to make sure it wasn't some kind of a quarantine or something before we go into the.
Yeah, I know
Absolutely.
exactly what kind of sign that looks like too, because we have them all over Michigan.
Yep. I have them all over Washington.
Right.
Well, so I believe the hours due to the present emergency, it is open now.
Yeah, the hours are whatever we say they are.
Right. So, you then, I assume, take the vehicles off, down, and do the trick that Mac was talking about to try and hide the back trail. Okay.
Mhm.
So, Mac, can you please roll me a now? I think this is now a recon check, but with your infiltration
Yeah.
modifiers.
Yeah, it's the same number on the roll, so I guess I shouldn't really even ask it. It doesn't
Okay.
really matter. Two successes.
Okay. So you've done an expert tracker might be able to find it. I mean, game mechanics wise, they've got to make a recon roll with 3 or more successes to spot it. So, okay, so it's possible, but you've done a pretty good job.
I wasn't looking to fool somebody tracking this. I just didn't want it visible from the road when people drove by to
Well,
see.
you've certainly
Hey,
achieved that.
Yeah, you've definitely achieved that. Okay, and you head on down into this it's probably about 300 or 400 meters down this trail, and then you're probably about 1.5 kilometers, something like that, as the crow flies from where you broke down, and you come into the clearing.
That puts us a good 5, 6, maybe even, I don't know, maybe 10 kilometers from where we had the firefight.
Well, no, each of these squares is 1 kilometer, so I think you're something like about here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
you call that 3.5.
Yeah, so it's probably 3.5, 4 kilometers.
Moving diagonally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you bringing the now. Bear in mind, with all the merchant caravan and so on as well, this clearing is now full of vehicles, and you end up with a bit of a juggling act to get them all in a position that you can drive everyone out forwards. But and some people are parked up right on the edge of trees, and possibly some smaller trees sort of started.
Some guys had to crawl out through the opposite side door.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Blocked by a tree.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone's a bit packed in, but you've got the vehicles here, so it's good for concealment. But if you were attacked, you would be in a bit of a hamstrung.
If they have, mortars or any sort of explosives.
Yep, definitely. But it's the trees around. Taking the look, I mean, Mac particularly will spot this, but to be honest, I think most of you will spot it because there are actually some signs pointing with various, almost indicating good trails to walk down. Once again, to Mac's trained eye, these look like these haven't been used for a considerable amount of time. There are you're spotting bits of wildlife tracks, to be fair, but that's about it.
I'm going to find the sign that has the hours on it.
Yeah, well, Mac had it, and I think some bullshit.
He took the whole sign?
Yeah.
I ripped the sign off the door, so...
Oh, okay. I'm going to take that sign. I'm going to ask for the sign. And then I'm going to take my bayonet and kind of roughly cross out the hours on there, the posted hours, and I'm just gonna write self-service, etch self-service in underneath them, and then put it back up where it used to be.
Okay, fair enough. Like that.
I mean, what the heck? What the heck? I'm sure we have a carpentry hammer somewhere in all of our crap.
We got general toolkits and things. You can do all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have a question on the list of the equipment stuff. I saw an SVD on there. Was that something we just picked up?
There's not an SVD. There's an SKS. As in SVD sniper rifle. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any of those because you've not been shot at by anyone by one of those.
Oh, sorry. It is SKS. My bad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was say we have scads of SKSs.
In terms only of setting up camp, can we kind of assume that such things as digging latrines, posting sentries, and things like that will happen?
Yeah, I mean, there's enough NPCs around and you also got the guys from the merchant caravan, and the sort of, if you remember, one of the do you remember it's a dad and 3 brothers?
Yeah.
Where are they?
This one tight.
So it's this lot. Yeah.
Yep.
So is that he doesn't? No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't ping. Okay, I can't ping on that. Jacek, who's the eldest brother, he is. I mean, he's ex-Polish military. Yeah. I mean, don't make it sound like he's some sort of elite commander of that, but he's clearly served quite a number of years in the Polish military. He is experienced in, and he organised that, and he's basically sort of dovetailing around what you're doing. So,
We have 2 camo nets and make those available to people who are setting up camp.
yeah. So you set up camp. Okay, so. What things do you wish to do? There is a number of
How
things.
long are we spending here, guys?
I need.
Get going in the morning, or we're going to spend the day. Basically, in other words, do I need to spend the overnight shift fixing this thing?
I think we should stay a whole day because actually I need you to take a look at my rifle while we're here as well.
Okay.
Well, we've got wounded. And we've got wounded that could use treatment other than slapping a bandage on it. Especially if the Bozar family has anybody who's with any kind of skill at all with.
We have someone.
Martinez has got. She's the ex-military police officer. Sorry, not officer.
NCO.
Spec-4, I think she's all called. I can't remember rank, but yeah, she's ex-military police, so she's got some rudimentary medical training. So she's become your unit medic.
Yeah, she's got some rudimentary first aid 101 medic skill, but I was hoping maybe we had somebody that could actually treat rather than just stop the bleeding.
Nope. Jacek has essentially got the same sort of level of knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then at the very minimum, we need to change bandages and pour alcohol on the wounds and stuff like that to prevent infection.
Who is injured?
Me.
Kowalski is injured. Is Cymbalski? Are you actually injured?
Oh yeah, I took 2 to the arm.
Right, because that's not showing up on this front sheet.
It's on my character sheet.
No, but I don't disagree. It's my if I move you on the landing page, it's not showing your wound on your token here. Okay.
Yeah, I took 2 grazes to the arm.
Yep. Okay. And Kowalski got a slight one as well. Is that the sum of the injuries?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has anyone else who got hurt got killed because we had the 2 NPCs that we lost when the Dodge went up
Oh, that's right, because one of the Dodge guys, the Dodge had been slightly hit earlier, and one of the NPCs was injured, but not critically.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got hit with the RPG, and they ended up Tango uniform.
Yep.
Yeah, well, because they both ended up crits with, like, one had their neck shattered, and the other one had a spinal. Like,
right. No,
spine was
but
broken. Yeah.
Earlier in they had gotten. I think they earlier in the fight they had gotten. One of the NPCs in the Dodge had gotten, I think Lindemann, who was on the machine gun, got slightly dinged, and so I was kind of thinking of him.
Yeah,
maybe.
I have a question on the loot stuff we have. We have a camouflage netting listed. How large is that?
Those.
This
I
is
can speak from experience that they are standard sizes. In the U.S. military, they're standard sizes. And the small one, the small one is 22 feet.
right. So this is a camouflage net that is designed to go over a vehicle. So that I assume is the full big large one.
Yeah. No. When the U.S. military says camouflage net, they come in 3 sizes. One's big enough. The 22-foot one is enough to cover a Humvee. And then the 30, I think it's 36-foot, is enough to cover an M1 tank. And then there is one that is just effing huge. that would be able to cover an entire headquarters.
Okay.
A headquarters.
Well,
track
that sounds like it was what you're saying is the 22 foot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna amend that. Yeah,
What I'm wanting to do with this is the road in to make this easier for guards to not be spotted. I'm going to take this about 20 feet off the road into the woods, and I'm going to erect it so that it's blocking view on the road into our camp. That way, some people can sit behind it and watch during the daytime to make sure nobody comes up, and at night as well. But I figure I'll be handling most nighttime duty, guard duty, since I'll have my NVGs, so I can have an easier time than everybody else does at night. But during the day, those guys can hide behind the net and not be spotted.
Then take your happy ass into the hut and rack out now.
Well, you build this. Can you just give me a? Now, what do you think for preparing that netting like that? Is that recon? Or is that, you reckon recon again? Okay, give me a recon, and it will be your infiltration. Well, you said you get the bonus. You got both bonuses. So yeah. But apply the bonus.
So
be right back, guys.
Yep.
2 successes again.
Yeah. Okay. So that's very well prepared. Okay. So,
and I'm going to suggest that we also put at least an M240 or a saw up here with the people that are standing guard.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then I will go rack out. So since I'll be up all night long.
Now, are you trying to get into the hut and sleep in there, or are you just sleeping in a vehicle or wrapped up on the ground somewhere?
I'm not really picky, so I mean I can just stay in the back of the UAZ. In the bed with my sleeping bag.
Okay.
And use for a bed.
So you crash out. Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Is anyone want to investigate this building?
Yeah, actually, building. I want to assess. Is it plumbed? And by chance, does it work if it is plumbed?
Right. Give me a. Are you just smashing your way in, or are you going to try and force the lock, or?
Force the lock.
Okay. Or pick the lock.
I'll go and get a crowbar from one of the numerous toolkits that we've got scattered around the Humvees and use that.
Okay, so you it takes a little time because it's a decent lock, but you do pop it. And this looks like some sort of Ranger cabin makes it sound more luxurious than it is. This is basically a tourist. This is clearly the startings of some sort of tourist trail where people could go walking down walking in various places through the woods.
So more of an oversized information booth.
Yes, yeah. There is, however, absolutely a plumbed-in toilet here. From the looks of it, for visitors.
And it works? Has water pressure. I mean, I'll have a sink then. Let's just go. I'm just thinking in terms of fresh water supply.
It's not been used in over a year. So, who's to say what state the water is in?
Okay.
Well, even if it has a well, it still has to have electricity to run the pump on the well. So,
it certainly doesn't have working electricity here anymore.
Right. So the taps don't work. Okay, checking.
Yep.
The cistern water still should be good, however, for filling up radiators and things like that. So
yeah. Okay. So you can start using that to finish off the maintenance you were doing on the M114. Yeah.
Yes.
you could, if you're wanting fresh water, though, you could look to see if there's a well pump head around here. We could manually get the water out of the well, rip the pump head off.
Okay. I'm probably not the best person to do that, so can I get Mac to do that or somebody
Well,
else?
Max crashed out.
I'm
But
out.
I'm a combat engineer. I'll be working on that.
so you're going to go. So Kowalski's going to go and try and find some water source, and you're looking.
Okay. First off, can I make a quartermaster roll to help get camp set up in the most efficient and useful way?
Yep.
Because that's it says when setting camp.
What skill's that on?
That would be a survival check plus. That would be survival
With a plus one modifier.
intelligence, and then I get a +1 bump for that. So B, I get a bump as C. Orc.
Where are the setting up camp rules? Are they in the?
Setting up camp rules. I'm looking at the table of contents. It is 147 in the player's book.
Players, but 147.
Yep. Making camp. When the journey of the day is over, it's time to make camp, finding a good location, throw, making fire, preparing a place to sleep for the whole ship, usually the evening. Only one character rolls to make camp, but others can help with the roll, make a survival roll, blah, 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 blah. And we have...
Table of mishaps if it goes wrong.
Yeah, I do feel sometimes this is a sort of trying to get you to fail so it can have a mishap to cause some drama.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's your random encounter in D&D camp at night.
Yeah. Okay, but just make me your.
I did.
Oh, you did. Sorry.
And one fail.
Yeah, well, the fail doesn't matter. Okay, so that all goes well. You get that. You sort of lead the organisation of setting up camp. As I said, the merchants sort of dovetail in with you.
Well, we have a truck for people to sleep in. We have a closed building to cook in. If to use
right. There is no. Just so Carl, you missed a little bit of description. So the inside, it's essentially
it's an office.
It's almost like an overgrown information booth.
Right. Yeah.
But
we have a desk. We have a flat spot. If we can bring in portable fuel stoves.
Yep. Okay.
Like a Coleman stove. They don't really require a chimney. All you need to do is crack open a window to let the fumes out.
Okay.
That's what I would have thought.
On the other hand, we have a place to cook. We have a place to cook our food, which doesn't give off light.
Yep. Okay. So anyway, food is cooked. I mean, as I say, there's this sort of racking in here with leaflets about the various walks around here and so on, and there's some really highly detailed maps of the local area, sort of a 2 kilometre. Yep.
I would actually presume we use some of those so that we can post our sentries, even though they're overgrown. They're still going to be less overgrown than the areas around them. So having sentries on the known paths into the area we're standing in.
Okay. Right. Now,
and God knows, because we're using rations with cans and that kind of thing, we can make jingle bobs, strings with cans tied to them to alert
Got
people.
a supply of fresh food, so I expect we're using that first, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we trained for in that last.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, good point. Good memory there. Yeah, good point.
Okay.
And as far as the well water and whatnot goes, would my scrounging ability help?
Right. Your scrounging ability allows you. Well, sorry. Anyone can make a roll to see if they can find anything useful in this place, in this actual building. But
Sorry, I'm just trying to make use of the skills.
No. I'm just wondering whether scrounging would help you find a well. Sorry. No, I think.
Water will be survival.
As a GM, I would leave it. That would be something I would decide on. Either it's going to be a city water, or it would be a well-based water. I mean, and then you could just have them do a recon check to see if they could actually find it if it's a well.
Okay. So I don't mind who's making these rolls, but Cymbalski, your so the things you can make rolls for. Trying to scrounge anything of use from in this building.
Maps.
Well, beyond the map, beyond the things I described.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just
you can try and find the wellhead, the well that's clearly must have been there to supply water for the toilet that's in this building. That would be a recon check to find that. And Mac has already sorted out a primary position on the road in, the path, the trail in, and from the maps you've been able to work out where else you need to place a couple of sentries. Okay, so who wants to do the roll? Does anyone do a roll for searching the buildings? Does anyone do a roll for finding the wellhead?
I expect I'm doing maintenance on a vehicle.
I can do the search for the wellhead.
Okay, give me that recon check then, please.
Yep. 3 successes.
Okay,
That'll work.
Hey, it's right here.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's undergrowth hiding them, but there are actually signs, sort of warning people not to.
Do not dig here.
Yeah. Do not dig. Yeah, do not mess around with this. Okay. 2.
So are we getting Lex like when they get off work tomorrow, or they take? Sorry, I mean push my talk.
I can't actually find out where the fresh food is listed on inventory.
Oh, is it? It may well be that I had the spreadsheet from when you were doing trading. So that I think my admin needs
on the Discord. I think that's on the Discord. I think it's on the Discord spoils of war list.
I think I need to do a bit of a catch up of admin. In all honesty.
Well, I think we've got, including us and the NPCs, I think I'm calculating right, we've got 12 survivors, so that'll be 12 man days of food down. Person days of food down.
Okay, so let's just go. Sorry, I'm just finding it.
Oh, by the way, I have I have appropriated the China mug with the Warsaw soccer team on it.
Okay. And just on your notes, Mark, Dan, we're 12 days of food down.
I'm actually just trying to trade counts. Yeah. Yeah, you bought 10 days food for 15 people. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we did actually account for the caravan. Good.
No, you didn't. You were buying originally to include the 2 that just died and Sunday as well, because when you were doing this trading, Sunday was still lingering on. So you actually had 105 days. This is the first day since you actually left the village. So
3 men down on that, so only 12 days.
So I shall say. Okay. Right. Can you give me to actually try and sort out getting the water out? I think it's a tech roll. To get access to the well.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. So he didn't damage the opening.
What else would it be, Chris? Have you got?
Well, I was actually thinking it'd be fairly straightforward, but if you want a tech roll, I'll do a tech roll.
Well, no, I was actually more thinking that Kowalski, who's found it, would be doing it.
Okay.
If you're busy turning wrenches on the Humvee and checking the checking the GAZ or the Tatra truck we picked up.
Oh, the truck. Yeah, good point.
Hey.
Did that roll?
Sorry, hold on a sec. So I'm making you said a tech roll?
Yes, please.
Yep. All right. Boom. I'm gonna push that.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. So you start siphoning off water, and the well has not been pumped for quite a while. It's probably not a good idea to drink it, but as the function that Dro wants it, which is to fill up water in the M114.
We'll want drinking water supplies as well. I'm sure we've got pure water purification tabs.
Else, just boil it.
Yeah. Right.
No, I mean, it's like NBC filters. We ran out of that shit a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I think unless anyone's got Puri tabs noted on their character sheet.
I did actually note half a bottle of pure tabs on my character sheet. But...
Okay, so you've managed to get some. Okay. Okay. So you could purify some water as well.
Okay. If those things are actually as rare as rocking horse shit, then I'm going to keep hold of them.
Yeah.
Boil it.
Okay.
We can boil water, and we can boil the water. I believe with all the stuff we have found, I'm certain that we can find quart-sized pots.
Yeah. Okay.
And the nice thing about Coleman stoves is they will run on wood alcohol.
Yeah. Well, alcohol is another important thing. Particularly going to stop for a day. Are you going to start trying to collect wood to get stills going?
Do we have enough? Well, okay, the stills, we presume that the stills are packed up on trailers.
They're in the back. So the UAZ is pulling a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Got one in it, and I think the other two in the backs of the two Humvees.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
And yeah, we do want to do that. I mean, we won't think what jobs we've got going for the following day. I'm fixing vehicles and weapons when I've got time. Might want somebody else, Kowalski maybe, to handle fixing some of the weapons that are damaged. We probably want somebody to sort out fuel for the still. Is there anything else we need to get done?
Okay, well then that would getting fuel for the still would be a pretty decent use for the scrounging skill.
So it's foraging is the key one.
Oh, foraging. Okay, yeah. That one I don't have. Sorry.
Yeah. But did you want to make a scrounging roll to see if you can find anything useful in the building?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean beyond the obvious. Let me see. Scrounging is a survival check. B. My normal surviving is D, +1 is C, so there we go. Beep. 1 success.
You find a George Foreman grill.
And no electricity. Yay me.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just curious.
Even worse, I find a ShamWow. Billy Mays here.
In the drawer of the desk, you find an open packet of cigarettes containing 7 cigarettes.
Oh, gimme. Awesome.
Okay, that's...
I'm just asking, Andy.
And the reestablishment of my trade bait continues.
Are you using? Have you found some expanded tables that you're using? Because I have. I'm just curious if you have.
No, I'm just using the one at the moment in the rule book. But if you've got some expanded ones, ping them to me because it's always good to vary things. And also, I know it's funny, but it's humorous. It's attempted to be humorous. But when they put a copy of the Twilight 2000 First Edition rules, that always just seems a little
too cute.
Yes, too cute. That's the phrase. Interestingly, I've never realised this. Smoking a cigarette reduces 1 point of stress.
It does. On the other hand, it also gives you lung cancer. So
it gives you -1 stamina rolls for one shift as well, though. So I'm not entirely sure that's balanced. But anyway,
I think that's kind of backwards. Trust me, when you're tired and you smoke, you gain stamina, not lose stamina.
Yeah, you get the jitters.
I think I imagine that's to try and smoking's bad for you kids type message.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So you find a pack of 7 cigarettes, or half pack of 7
half a
cigarettes.
pack of smokes.
Yep, that's all. That's all you
Got a
found.
half a pack of smokes.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got
a
that.
tank of gas, a half pack of smokes. It's midnight, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Right.
Get it?
Oh my god.
Okay. So, that's scrounging done. Are you? By the time you set up camp, it's probably too late to start gathering fuel for
Probably.
for setting up stills and stuff. So let's right. Let me make some. Let us see if the night passes uneventfully.
No.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't find the good one that I had, but I just found one that I put for you in general chat. Just a small one.
Thank you. The night passes uneventfully.
Oh, thank goodness.
And so, right. Firstly, all stress is recovered by sleep. If I remember the rules correctly.
Okay.
Healing.
Yeah, I think that'll clear our stress. Also, pointing this out, but it gets us a chance to spend our experience points.
Yeah, no, I'm going to come to that in a sec. Yeah. Right. So anyone who has a point of injury, a point of wound, who spent a full shift resting or sleeping, you're not starving, dehydrated, or hypothermic. You heal 1 point of damage. So I think that heals up Kowalski, and that heals up one of Cymbalski's wounds.
It actually heals up one of mine. I had 2.
You have 2,
For some
do you?
reason
Okay.
It wasn't showing up.
No, so okay, so that I need to check on that because that thing on the front page is not working properly.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right.
But I am down to just 1 hit. So.
Yep. Okay. So, I think I'm correct about stress recovering all in a night's stress recovers much more quickly, doesn't it?
I believe so.
Right.
I'll look it up for you if you want to go on.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
look it
If
up
you
for
check, I'm just going to look at experience
I'm
points.
about halfway there, so let me.
Experience points. 40. Okay. Now, we have not done, I believe.
Andy,
Yep.
you automatically heal 1 point of remaining stress for each full shift spent resting or sleeping. So it's like wounds.
Okay. So
This
yeah.
assumes you are not sleep deprived or hypothermic or hungry, etc.
Yeah, so it's exactly the same.
You can heal stress and damage at the same time.
Yeah. So how many points of stress did you have?
I was up to 4, so now I am down to 3.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any points of stress that they needed
Yeah,
to?
I have one, so I'll clear that.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, I don't think we've done experience points for 4 sessions. I don't think we did experience points for the session where you initiated the ambush. Then we had.
We did it. We did XP right before the big meeting engagement fight.
Yeah. So, so there's the first episode. Where there was the big engagement. Then there were the 2 where we had the audio problems. I know I've only put 1 live, but the 2 where the audio problems, and then the last session where we completed. So I think it's you need XP for 4 sessions. So you each get 1. So you each get 4 for participating in 4 sessions. So it's 4. Did anyone do anything during those 4 episodes relating to their moral code?
Not me.
Not really. If I had different moral code, taking a prisoner would have counted, I expect, but I don't think it does for my particular moral code.
I think for mine it might, because my moral code is about fighting for the guy who's in the foxhole with you and fighting for your buddies, and me bum rushing that RPG squad with frag grenades.
Okay, I'll give you 1 for that. Yeah, I'll give you 1 for that. Yeah. Did anyone risk or sacrifice something significant to realise your big dream?
Yeah, I risked my life to. I risked my life to get these to try and drive these Ukrainians off.
They weren't Ukrainians. They were Russians.
They were Russians.
The Ukrainian.
And my big dream is to live to see Poland free of invaders.
Andy, on the subject of moral code, sorry, part of my whole thing is keeping our group together, and I fronted up and ran in as an infantryman and covered the right flank of the road and then the left flank of the advance as we went to the south. I mean,
okay, so I'll give Dro 1 for that and Cymbalski 1 for those. I think those both, but not multiple for the multiple sessions, but 1 each for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that Mac wants to make a pitch for?
No, not really. I mean, mine's strong, protect the weak. So
no, I think his sniper. I think his. I think his going out by himself and doing his sniper thing without cover applies to that. I would give a player.
Give me your. What's your? Is that your moral code or your big dream?
My moral code is the strong, protect the weak. So. I always put myself out to.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you 1 for that. I'll give you 1 for that. Did you travel through at least 1 hex on the travel map? That you're not visible. You have travelled some distance. I'm going to give you 1 each for that.
Yes. Okay.
Did you overcome 1 or more dangerous events using violent or non-violent methods? Now, I am going to. I'm going to give you 2 each for that because essentially there were 2 parts to that battle. There was the initial engagement which you overcame, and then there was the flanking force which you overcame. So
yeah, it was kind of 2 battles stapled onto each other.
Yeah, it was. And then did you risk your?
It's the classic meeting engagement.
Yeah. So and then did you risk your life for the PC who's your buddy? And I'm pretty certain that we're going to need to have a bit of a resort out of buddies. But
my buddy's Sunday, so no.
Yeah, you need to sort out a new buddy, and I think Mac's buddy is Jimmy, and
my buddy is
Greg's really struggling making sessions. So
my buddy's Jimmy now, yeah. Okay, so no.
No. Right. So I don't think that's applied at all. So how many?
My buddy's Kowalski, and we were on opposite ends of the fight. So.
Yeah.
So can we go through that again? 2 each. Plus, I think we managed to get 1 each for moral code.
Right, so you participated in 4 game sessions, so you get 4 each for that. Then all of you have got 1 each for either moral code or big dream, so that's 5 each, total of 5. 1 each for travel, 6. 2 overcomes, that's 6. That's 8 XP each. I think that works out. Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Yep. Also, there is 1 other thing that we need to do, which is any session where we had to make a control under fire roll. if we succeeded, we do have to roll to see if our CUF goes up.
Right. So, okay. When you work out, it just night has taken place, so you can spend some XP. So, just want to have a quick look at your XP, and if there's anything you want to start looking to buy. I don't know because I don't know how much XP you guys have got stashed up from previous sessions. But so buy a new skill at D is a 5. Just in case you haven't got this in front of you, new skill at D is 5. Increasing a D to a C costs you 10. C to a B costs you 15. B to an A costs you 20. And specialities cost you 10. But there needs to be some kind of justification, normally in the form of a teacher, as to why you've gained that speciality.
C to a B costs how much?
15.
15. Got it.
Yeah, I'd like actually Sobolski to start teaching me Polish. I mean,
Certainly.
we're all starting to learn Polish after being here for years anyway. So
Yeah, I
Well,
thought
okay.
so.
Here's
Okay.
here's an interesting point for you. Yeah, someone posted some rules on some homebrew rules about languages because it's very arbitrary at the present moment. And what the idea is take your intelligence stat. Yep. So you start with your native language at rating A. So basically giving languages ratings. So you start with the native language at rating A, and then do your you get a number of levels as such to spend equivalent to your intelligence attribute. So let's say intelligence is a B. So you've effectively got 3 levels of language to buy. So you could buy 3 languages at level D, or 1 at a C and 1 at a D, or 1 at a B. Yeah, as extra languages. Yep. And then the
you're
linguistic.
saying each point of intelligence allows you to buy a language? Is that what you're saying?
Buy a rating in a language, and obviously
Sure.
put more points in, increase the rating. So, do you fancy it would be retrofitting this in? And obviously, Cymbalski, you've got stuff put into linguistics.
I've got 2 specializations in linguistics.
Because so you've got the issue with this is that we probably need to rework. Well, no. So what's Cymbalski's intelligence?
To interject for you, what I decided to do in my game, if somebody to learn like Polish, since you're around it all the time, you just have to have a Polish speaker make a successful roll to teach you speaking. If players want to learn to read it, I require them to spend additional time training and spend an additional 10 points to pick up the reading side of it. Because there's a difference between reading and speaking.
Yeah,
And there's a huge difference in those two. In my
yeah,
opinion.
no, that's more for gaining languages in game. This is more. Should you have more at start? I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Continue the conversation in chat between sessions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's chat out this further because it would possibly need to retrofit some stuff on Cymbalski so he's not disadvantaged for buying linguistics.
But just for the sake of game continuity, I will start with everybody who wants with the basic tourist Polish. Where is the bathroom? Right, left. How much is this?
Yep. Certainly. Certainly.
Well,
Okay.
Joe's pretty smart, so he
So
probably
just-
picking it up as he goes.
Yep. So
Yeah, I mean, but
So-
that, and helping them with their pronunciation and all that, and that's the word I'm looking for. And so, yeah, for the sake of game continuity, however we decide to do it, that process starts now.
yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Is that fair?
Yep. Because game mechanics wise, I think you just plug 10 XP into linguistics and buy a language, and then as long as someone is teaching you it and you have Cymbalski to teach, then you can just talk about learn it. So, does anyone want to spend any XP on anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you wish to
Oh,
buy?
yeah.
Go. Yeah.
I'm gonna need to wait a while, but yeah, I'm going to be putting another rank or 2 into range combat. That's for damn sure.
Everyone will be pleased to hear I'm putting a rank into tech. Because I may be the maintenance guy, but I'm not that good at it. I'm better at it now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's you done. What's Kowalski doing?
Kowalski's actually better than me.
I'm bumping my command up from C to B.
Because you got 15 points stashed up.
Yeah, I have 20 points stashed up right now.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, I know I've missed a couple of sessions, so my character has 21 total points that we have picked up in the course of the campaign.
I've got 24.
So, and I have 11 available to spend.
Different people have got different numbers because there's different awards, but also if people miss a session, then obviously they get XP for that session.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, are Cymbalski or Mac spending any XP at the moment?
No.
I'm just looking to spend on Polish. So
Okay, right. Okay, well, let's sort this discussion out between sessions as to whether we want to do some homebrew rules about languages, and then you can work it out. Okay.
It's 5 points to get something at D, right?
Yeah.
I'm also going to get heavy weapons at D then.
Okay.
With my last 5 points.
Okay. Now, when you were after each session, so just the coolness under fire rule. After each session in which you made a coolness under fire roll and succeeded, you have a chance to increase your CUF. Roll the base die.
Don't forget, if you actually succeed in getting a point of coolness under fire, you also have a risk of losing a point of empathy as well.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going through the rules. You roll the base die for your coolness under fire. If the result is a 1, increase your coolness under fire 1 step. The maximum score is A. However, becoming cool under fire makes you emotionally numb. Each time your coolness under fire increases, roll your base die for empathy. If the result is 6 or higher, your empathy rating is permanently reduced by 1 step to a minimum of D. So,
We all pretty much made
you all made
in that last break is everybody.
No. You all did. I think it would be that session was quite a long protracted firefight. I think we'll just do one set of rolls.
Yeah, I was going to suggest only doing one roll for it.
Okay,
yeah, I agree.
So let's just go down the line. So Nick, can you roll for Kowalski, please? So roll your coolness under fire dice, not your just whatever the dice type is. So what did you roll there?
I rolled a 2.
Oh, so yours doesn't change. Chris, roll for Dro, please.
Okay.
Hey.
That looks like a yes.
So yours goes up from a
C to a B even.
C to a B. Now roll me. What's your empathy stat?
My empathy stat ain't great. It's possibly this would end up being a negative step for me. My empathy stat is C.
C, right. So roll me a D8. If you roll 6, 7, or 8.
Is it? Do you roll the empathy or do you roll coolness under fire?
No, you roll your base die for empathy. Yeah. If it's 6 or higher, your empathy is reduced permanently by 1 step. So if you're a D8, you don't want a 6, 7, or 8.
Well, D8, I don't want a 6, 7, or 8. Right, got it. 3. I remain as likable as ever.
Yeah. Okay. Cymbalski.
Oh.
Well, you wanted to roll a 1, not a 10.
Huh? No, I have a personal coolness of B.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So that just doesn't change.
So 1d10.
Yep.
So I did not gain any cool, and I am not enthralled because I didn't gain any cool. I am not.
So you're fine.
Empathy.
Mac, do you want to roll coolness under fire, please? Or are you at A already?
Nope.
Andy, be right back.
Yep. Sure.
It's getting a drink.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh well, that's clearly not. That's That's
7.
Yeah. Okay. So yours doesn't change either. Okay. But Dro's did, which is quite interesting. That's all quite fits because Dro ran slightly madly into combat to.
Yeah. Dro did receive a lot of fire.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I mean, firing an RPG at somebody or firing a law at somebody is going to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Right. You can, if you wish to, also, because we're having a bit of a rest, This is the terminology here I think is odd. After a session in which you betrayed your moral code, I don't like that word betrayed. You may scrap your moral code and write a new one. So essentially, if you want to change your moral code, you can. If you want to change your big dream, you can. And also, you can find another buddy.
Is Jimmy coming back, or is he done?
He's Gregg is his work schedule has changed, and he's going to be unavailable for quite a while. So I think I didn't have time to. I think I'm going to certainly remove him from the overlay. So I think it would be worth changing that for the moment. Yes.
Sure, I'll change to Carl since I'm spending a lot of time with him learning Polish.
Okay.
Okay.
To Cymbalski.
Is it possible to have more than one buddy at
Yeah.
some point?
It is because it's a one-sided thing.
Yeah.
Basically. So
Okay.
You can only have one buddy, but several people. So
have
one
you
person
as
could
a
be the buddy of several people.
Okay.
Right. So think of like the A team. Everybody's buddy was Hannibal, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Mostly in a stand back, watch what this fool's about to do next kind of way.
Chris, just say,
Yeah, just back.
you can, because it's sort of a downtime, a sort of rest period, you can, if you wish to, change your moral code. It says if you betrayed your moral code, but more if it's not working, by all means, this is an opportunity to change it.
No, it seems to be working. It's
Okay,
all right.
you can also seek a new dream if that's and change your big dream, and you can also change your
I'm about to get a point for that. Keeping that.
right, and then you can find another buddy.
Definitely going to pitch that improving my mechanical skill and ability to maintain cars. It definitely goes towards my big dream.
Okay, what do you want? You can also pick a new buddy.
Right.
And it
Yes,
doesn't. They don't have to be pairs. So Mac has just changed his from Jimmy to Cymbalski. So you can.
Well, I chose Jimmy last time because he was a guy. He was a guy who I was sort of fighting closest to. So it kind of makes sense. He kind of makes sense for me.
But right, the problem is, I think Gregg is going to have to certainly in the short term drop out the group. He's got changed his work commitments, and he's not available. So I think he's not going to be here. So you want to probably pick either Kowalski, Cymbalski, or Mac.
Yeah. Kowalski, we had that firefight together, didn't we, at the start? So.
sure.
And I'm going.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
I'm going to change my moral code to protect my unit instead of it being so broad. I'm going to narrow it down a little bit.
Yep, that makes sense. And if you think maybe protect the remnants of my unit, because if you think about it, your unit has shrunk because there was a big firefight early on, before you joined the group, where the bulk of your unit was destroyed. So that quite fits. Okay.
How much is I'm getting back to experience? How much is it to start a new skill at D?
5.
5. You know, I think I will spend 5 points to open medical aid at D, because that would just be recalling basic training. I think.
Yeah,
that's the same level that Martinez and everybody else has got it at.
No, Martinez, I think is a C.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's not. I mean, Martinez is.
I'm actually going to do the same. I'm going to open it at D on the basis that I've tried and failed to save Sunday.
Yeah. Martinez is an empathy of B and a medical aid of C. So yeah, but by all means, yeah, open it. But I mean, I'm a firm believer that you should probably end up with pretty well every single skill at a D. Yeah.
I'll open up tech then because I've spending time cleaning my weapon and stuff, taking it apart, putting it back together again.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Okay. First off, question for the party: are we planning on staying here another full day?
I think we should probably stay here a couple of days as long as we're not discovered. We need not only do we need a break, but we need to let the area die down. They're going to be looking for us after hitting that convoy.
That's true.
If there's a larger unit attached.
Let me see. First off, what do the convoy guys think? Because if they've got
Yeah.
a schedule they have to meet.
True.
Right.
Right. So you talk to the father. So the father is, from memory, Peter.
Yeah.
Show that again. Yeah, Peter, the father. Sorry, just to remind you, by the way, Jacek speaks some English. Andres, who's the middle brother, he speaks good English. He's the main one you're talking to is Andres. Peter, the father, speaks absolutely not one word of English. And Tedder's the youngest brother also speaks a little bit of English. But Peter, in discussion with Cymbalski and then with translations, he thinks actually that was a big. There was clearly some trouble going on in Malgaraz. There's also that big battle. He says he wouldn't have put it quite sort of. It worries him when you say they might be searching for him. For you lot, and that they might get caught in the crossfire. He's more worried about them setting up roadblocks and things like that, and so on. So he thinks lying low. He agrees with, I think it's Mac's suggestion of lying low for a while. He thinks that's a good one, and it's quite. He's got some food. It's starting to push his rations, but if you're staying for a little while, then Jacek we're probably going to do some hunting and try and get some extra food. And I was assuming that you will probably start doing the same. But so spending certainly another day, maybe 2 or even 3 here, he's certainly up for. And
Okay.
seeing what else.
Then we need to start. Getting at least one still up and running, and doing weapon maintenance.
Well, all the stills, just on the stills, all the stills you've got are small.
Okay.
So actually,
Getting all of them up and running.
Mac will jump in when they start talking about stills, and you can only run your stills at night. You can't run them during the day. The smoke will draw attention to us.
Yeah, they will, and the smell. I mean, you're rendering pine trees down into alcohol. It's gonna be pungent.
yeah. So let's do a bit of. We haven't really done much foraging for now.
I'll be right back.
And Mac will be hunting too
Right.
as well. 1 shift a day anyway.
Okay. So we'll come. So Mac's going to go hunting for a shift. So essentially, the day breaks down into 4 shifts. I'm going to presume that 1 shift is spent sleeping, 1 shift is spent doing sort of other things around the camp, and then there's 2 shifts of work. Does that sound all right, or do you think you'd be really pushing it and doing 3 of work?
Nope, that sounds good.
This sounds about right.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, because you got to eat and cook and clean up.
I think the rule of thumb is supposed to be that you do shifts of work per day, 2 shifts of work per day normally, and 3 is considered pushing yourself. I think you get stress and stuff if you start
Yeah.
doing
Okay, that makes sense. Right. Now.
So just so you know, I will take the early shift, the first shift from when we wake up to hunt, and then I'll sleep after that. That way I'm hunting in the early mornings when the deer are still active, deer and boar.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Excuse me.
Right.
Okay, if we're
are you going to shoot off?
No. I was checking with the wife. She's got to go taking off here in about an hour or so.
Oh,
I've got little things I've got to do. A musket to clean and things. But in the game thing, I wanted to spend time trying to bring my AKM back from the dead.
Right. So
I've got 2 Humvees to run maintenance on. They're not too bad, but they're not great.
Okay. So, what we just got, there's 4 shifts of the day. You're spending 1 shift sleeping, 1 shift doing other things, and 2 shifts working. So, you want to spend a shift sorting out your guns. So, give me a tech roll on that, please.
Yes, sir.
And
Check.
is Mac spending a shift sorting out his rifle as well?
Sure. I'll try to do it myself.
Okay, so give me a tech roll for that. So that takes out. So that's the first shift for you two.
Okay.
Dro is doing.
Can I push?
Yes, you can push that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Cymbalski. So, what's your increase the reliability by 1?
Okay. Well, I got it a little better because it was all the way. It was all. My AK was down to 1.
And Mac, you can increase yours by 2.
So I'm already an expert. All right.
Woo-hoo.
Now,
Can I crack at the 998?
what the now is this? Is there any reliability points down anywhere?
Yeah, a 1114 is down to the 998 is 4, and the UAZ is fine. So 1 there for Russian engineering.
Okay, so which vehicle do you want to do first?
I'll
shift?
do the one that's a 3, so I can have a second go if it's not desperate. But
Okay, yep. So give me a mechanic roll for that, please.
where do I see
And
that
just
one?
while
So that's
while Chris
4.
is rolling that, Nick, what's Kowalski doing for this first shift?
For this first shift, Kowalski will be scanning the radio frequencies. Just
Okay.
looking to see if there's anyone broadcasting a general or what's going on in the area radio-wise.
Okay,
Pushing.
okay, Chris. So you're just pushing the 10 side. Okay, yeah. So
I
just
managed to get 1 point back on, so
Yep.
it's at 4. That's not bad. I'm
Okay.
happy with it.
Right. Now, Kowalski, you're scanning the radio. Oh, just say sorry. While this is also going on, several NPCs can be out gathering wood to use in the. I mean, you almost don't have to go more than 20 yards from the edge of the campsite because there is so much sort of
Loose biomass.
yeah, exactly. So there are people clearing up and gathering loose wood and other etc. to fuel some stills from the immediate vicinity of the camp. Okay, right. Kowalski, monitoring the radio. You you pick up on your vehicle radio some discussions in Polish between 2 different call signs, and one is requesting confirmation that they are to execute some Americans that they have captured for the war crimes that they have committed. And they are hang on a sec.
And plans are about to change.
Give me a it would be hang on a sec. Do give me a recon check.
Okay.
Do you by any chance have the investigator specialty? I doubt it, but just in case.
No, I do not.
Okay.
One success.
Sorry, apologies. It shouldn't be you rolling this because this is all conversation in Polish. Sorry. You grab Cymbalski to translate
Well,
this for you.
no, I can speak Polish.
So of course you can. I'm being an idiot. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Sorry.
He speaks American Polish.
Yeah.
Well,
You speak.
I have linguist Polish.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, no, I was
Yeah.
joking with you that you speak
yeah.
Cleveland Polish.
Sorry,
You
I
speak
forgot that.
Cleveland
Right.
Polish,
Okay.
not Warsaw Polish.
So, one success. Do you wish to push that?
No, I'll keep it as.
Okay. It's unclear. There's clearly some nervousness in the person requesting confirmation that they should be executing the American prisoners, and it's prisoners plural. It's unclear whether the war crimes are whether that is a genuine accusation or an excuse.
Right.
Okay, you're not able to determine from the tone of the voice or anything whether that's true or not, but certainly the permission is given.
Is he able to get the direction?
Right, give me a tech roll, please.
You got it. I'll push that and roll another d12. See if I can't get a little bit better there.
I just rolled d12 off the dice roller.
Yeah.
You just pushed both of them and got a total of 2 successes.
Did I just push both of them? No.
Well, your second roll would imply that you pushed both of them.
Oh,
and
no,
got
no,
two
no, no,
successes.
no. You're looking at a recon roll and
Oh,
followed by a
excuse
tech
me.
roll.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I did just push it and fail.
Okay,
with no
so
effect.
probably northwest.
Guess where? Malgorska, whatever the hell that
No, that's
name is.
northeast.
Oh, northwest. So that could be back towards. Did we leave anybody at the? Let me get that map up. Sudzen, is that the Sudzen area map?
As far as I know, we haven't left anybody anywhere.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if we
There
left,
were some there were some Americans operating with the
Kaminsky's commandos
Yeah.
had a few Americans working with them.
but that was quite far to the north. But then you're fairly certain because they went and caused some mayhem and then were relocating, but you've no idea where.
Could you bring up the local map again,
Yep.
please?
Sure.
It's not in docs. Thank you. Okay, so you said northwest. Got the abandoned bus. We're down in here.
You're down about here. So
Yeah. So Grusin. Okay, Malogotzis is due east. Grusin is northeast, and this signal came from the northwest, which is generally. So I'm kind of, and I'm thinking in terms of radio range, because military radios don't have the hugest range in the world.
It does have
So-
right. If you look at the equipment list, it's got a power. I mean, your radios have been configured. You are long range reconnaissance,
Okay.
so you've got a
Okay,
power.
so
You've got
we're
a
looking
power
at- we're
amplifier
looking
on there.
at we're looking in the range of Sulkow and that abandoned bus on the local map.
Um,
That's northwest of where we are. It's the major crossroads.
Right, that where we just came from.
uh,
No, we avoided Sulkow.
yeah, I mean, it's anything in an arc from that abandoned bus
Mhm.
down to sort of where I'm pinging on the map now. That could be classed as
Okay.
northwest as well, and it
Okay.
could be as far as somewhere
Oh,
over
right.
here.
Well, since I
Okay.
don't have a fixed pinpoint on the location and there's currently nothing any of us can do about it, I'm just gonna not relay that particular tidbit to anybody else.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Command decision.
Yeah. I'm making the command decision to not engage with that, unfortunately.
Okay. Right. I'm just thinking. That's probably because we've got a second work shift to do. It's already past the finish time, and I've got some things to get on with this evening still to do. So I think it's probably a good point to leave it there for this week, and then we'll catch up
Okay,
in
so
2
we've
weeks.
got one more work shift for the first day next time.
Yeah.
We
Well,
can get that stuff next week fairly quickly, I think, and then get on the road again wherever we go.
yeah, and and well, then there's a few bits and pieces. Yeah, there's a few bits and pieces that will happen. Some conversations with some NPCs.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's be fair. We haven't really gotten a whole lot of distance on our way to
No, we haven't.
on our way to Krakow, have we?
Okay.
Excuse me,
Right.
on our way to
So
Krakow.
let's leave that there for this week. Thanks for anyone watching. There'll be another episode in a couple of weeks' time.